Hello guys, right, it is currently Tuesday the 4th of January. The time is 1:36 p.m. in the afternoon. I've just entered a trade on Aussie US dollar. As you can see, I've just been tagged in. Price is still moving, so I put this entry or this pending order on at the 1 p.m. at the beginning of 1 p.m. So as you can see, I'm tagged in, so I'll show you guys what happens to the trade, how I manage it, what happens once I exit, how much percentage has been made or lost, and we'll go through the trade and show you why I entered. Peace. Right, hello guys. So I was taken out of that trade at the 2 p.m. candles. As you can see, this is what happened. I got taken out pretty quickly. We obviously reversed, and after 2 candles I got taken out. And currently it is about 5 p.m. in the afternoon. But yes, I got taken out of the 2 p.m. candle. I was away from my desk and I just got back. So guys, let's go straight into it and I'll show you why I entered this trade. Right guys, so as you can see, this is the trade I took over here. You can see that I was taken out pretty quickly by these 2 candles. And it's probably a good idea, of course, like I always say with these videos, to show you why I entered this trade. So if I bar replay it back to around here, you can see that we are clearly range bound. We have this very long range. You can see that we have a range here. And of course, again, another range that can be drawn over here, right? So we have a couple of ranges here. And for me, I was just thinking, okay, right, like, of course, I'm not a range bound trader. I'm waiting for any possible trends to develop. So you will have liquidity below and above these areas. So for me, I was thinking, okay, of course, how are we going to exit these areas? Are we going to exit impulsively and show commitment to either side, and therefore I'll be looking to get involved? Or are we going to break through it correctively, okay? And show that, hey, we're showing weakness to one side. For example, in this drawing here, we're seeing weakness to the downside. So can we see a reversal and get involved in some possible movement to the upside? But again, I was sitting on my hands, being patient and seeing what happens. And as you can see, with the next few candles, we had this really nice impulse down. We obviously blew through this liquidity and showed, hey, we could start to possibly trend here, right? So we impulse down, and so for me, I was seeing what happens next. And now, as you can see, with these next few candles, I did start to see a pullback, but not too much momentum. And then afterwards, we came back down, and with this candle, we actually just broke this low here. So we would have just broken this low and retraced. So what does that tell me? So with my strategy, essentially that tells me, hey, we're not seeing that continued momentum down, and momentum could have possibly died, okay? So for me, I wasn't looking at any opportunities to go short here. So I was sitting on my hands and waiting to see what happens. So now I'd be waiting for more price action. You can see we started to stagnate here, and we broke this high with a wick. You can see that we have a high here, we have a low here. We broke this high with a wick, and the next candle, of course, retraced. So we retraced there. So if I get rid of these drawings, you can see just quickly as price, what was happening to price. Again, we broke the high, formed a wick, and again, formed another wick and retraced after that. So you can see that, guys, look what's happening here. Yes, we broke a low here, retrace, and now we're starting to push up. You can see that we're starting to push up here, but am I seeing momentum? No, because you can clearly see that we're breaking a high at this level here with a wick and moving back down. And we're again breaking the high here, forming wicks and moving back down. So that's showing me a lot of weakness to the upside. So for me, and now at this stage, I'm thinking, okay, can I see any evidence for us to go south? Okay, and now again, like I said, let's continue and play, see what happens next. Now this is what happened with these next 2 candles. So this candle here broke this high just by a little. You can clearly see that we broke just by a tiny amount. And of course, the very next candle also tried to push up and retrace back again. And you can clearly see, guys, look how many wicks we have. We've got double wicks here to the upside. We've got wicks here to the upside. So again, we're showing some serious weakness to the upside. I'm not seeing any momentum up, okay? So for me, now I'm thinking, okay, am I going to see any evidence that we are going to go south or going short? So again, sitting on my hands, being patient, waiting. And as you can see, the next candle, right, now we broke this low with a little bit of momentum, but formed this wick. And now as you can see, guys, we broke this low here and formed this wick. So again, I just wanted to see a little bit more. Why? Because immediately the next candle could just create a retrace candle, a green or blue candle, pull back up, and then we could just continue to see this weakness here, and we could continue to range around like this, okay? But for me, like I just said, I'm going to be waiting for the next candle and seeing if we follow through and start to show momentum to the downside. And as you can see, the next candle did exactly that. Now, one of the things that was on my mind was this wick, okay? So that was in the back of my mind. However, considering the overall setup, you can clearly see that, yes, we impulsed down, we started to show weakness to the downside, we saw this correction down, and then again, we tried to see if buyers would come up, again, saw this weakness to the upside, and this was a really nice ascending correction. You could clearly see the way that this price action was forming was exactly like this, which is very similar to how I forecast, okay? And of course, looking at what happened next, not only did we form the double wicks, but we pushed with real nice momentum. Now, one of the things that I do have and think about in my trade plan, and especially with trades like this, is that yes, we have a wick, but if I look at this candle relative to this candle, where it finished, you can see the low finished around here compared to the low of this candle up here. If the candle of this low just finished at around, let's say, this level here. So if I bar replay this and show you guys, if we come back here and I say, okay, if we saw not another retracement candle, but we saw another bearish candle that finished around this level here, you can see that around that level here, I personally wouldn't be too interested because that's not showing me that much momentum down. We could just immediately retrace from that, and like I said, again, just start to range around like this, okay? So that's not showing me great amounts of evidence that we want to go down. So again, like I said, the next candle showed this momentum. Not only did we have a nice candle down, we of course had a little wick, but of course, look at the distance between the close of this candle and where the low of it compared to that candle. So you can clearly see we've got nice momentum here. So for me, I was happy to set my order at the last kind of level. So for those of you that like support and resistance, I always say here, there's a level here. So for me, of course, I'm looking for this kind of a pullback here, retracement here, and rejection to go south, okay? So as you can see, the very next candle printed this. So this was a very strong candle upwards. Now, of course, I'm not going to get any fear of saying, oh, I'm in loss, so of course pull out the trade or anything like that. Once I'm tagged in the trade, according to my rules, of course, I stay in the trade and wait for it to play out. If it's a loss, if it's a loss, it's a loss. If it's a win, it's a win. Again, we stick to our rules. So again, this pulled back pretty heavily, and the next candle, of course, just blew straight up. And as you can see, if I just quickly exit now, we are, of course, looking to push up to the upside. And again, we're seeing this kind of V for volatility. So now what I'm personally expecting is a bit more of a range. But again, that may not happen. We could just start to trend upwards, but I will be forecasting what happens here later this evening. But again, the whole purpose of this video was, why did I enter this trade? Again, you guys could clearly see we had this, again, ascending correction up. You can clearly see we're moving like this up. And for me, I was looking how we broke the low over here, and we could see with a nice 2 candle break, we broke it quite nicely. So again, I was happy to set my order at that level to look to go south. So again, that's part of my strategy. A 1% loss here. Again, I'm completely happy with that. Like I said, this completely fits my plan. Again, yes, there was a wick on that final candle, but there was way more price action going for it, like the double wicks, the weakness to the upside, the consistent ascending correction that made this trade. This is exactly why I put on this trade and took a 1% loss. Again, like I say, I'm happy to take that. It fully fit my plan, and of course, I'll continue to trade on. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video just to show you guys why I entered this trade. So far, I have posted all my winning trades, and probably this is the first trade on my channel to show you guys, of course, it's not all happy days and winning all the time. This is exactly why I entered this trade, and it was a full 1% loss. But again, I would take this trade over and over again as it completely fit my plan, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you had any comments, please feel free to write it down in the comment section below. But for now, have a fantastic trading week ahead. So take care and peace.